we have huge news that it comes in a small package.
Yes, we have a new book coming and you can pre-order it now.
And guess what, people? It's only 160 pages, which I don't even know how that was us.
I don't know, but it's basically all our wisdom, everything that we know about THM, but it's packaged into just practical daily skills. And it's called The 7 Skills to Lasting Health.
It's kind of like the primer you've been waiting for. If you've been a vet for years, it's going to bring life back into this whole lifestyle for you, because it's going to refresh you and make it seem so much more doable, where you're going to be like, oh my goodness, it's been this simple all along. Yeehaw.
And then if you're a newbie, or hey, perhaps you know someone and you've never wanted to give one of our long books to them because most people like raise an eyebrow at the length, hey, you can share this with people without them thinking you're weird or we're weird.
And we've got 21 recipes in there, so they've got everything to get started. You know, you can purchase it now as a pre-order too.
And here's what you get as a pre-order. Now, this book doesn't come out to June, so we wanted to equip you. By the way, this book is only $14.99, people. It's a doable purchase.
Yeah, and everything you want to know, it's in there.
So we did 7 mini podcasts, 1 podcast for each skill. So we want to equip you now with these skills. We want you to incorporate them into your daily life. When the book comes, then you'll be extra ready to just soak it all in. And
yes,
we filmed recipes for you.
Hey, we didn't just film them in Pearl's kitchen. We went and did this professionally. We hired the big lighting and the big cameras.
Are you proud of us?
I'm proud of us.
Well, that's what you get when you pre-order. It's
free.
Kind of a big deal. And let's talk about where it's available, because we partnered with a new publisher, Harvest House.
Yes.
We love them and they love us.
Yes, we're a thing.
And we are going to be everywhere, guys. Of course, Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Yeah, Christian Books A Billion. Everywhere books are sold.
Everywhere. You know, you can even walk into Hobby Lobby and find it.
Oh man, we're going to be something.
Yay.
This is The Poddy with Serene
And Pearl.
Get it right, Poddy.
It's the Trim Healthy Podcast with Serene, Pearl, and I'm Danny V, and super stoked you tuned in. Hey, before you go, I want to run a bit of something by you.
Where are we going, Dan? We're just starting.
Yeah, but you're gonna launch here in a minute.
We're going to launch, yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna talk about the stuff.
Right.
And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm sure it's right, as usual. But I just read something. I just didn't know if you heard this. But it's about the old appendix.
Okay.
And the doctors will
Not
take
a young appendix, but an old one.
Yeah, OL.
No, just
the old appendix. You know, the doctors will remove it for various reasons. Mm-hmm. And no one's ever really known, like, what is it there for? They remove it, nothing seems to go wrong, at least not in the immediate. But I've always thought, if it's there, it has a purpose. Hey, it's time for the banter, the part you hate, but we love. This may not be true. Please consult your physician before making any medical decisions. New research reveals the appendix isn't useless. It stores beneficial bacteria, contains more neurons than the spinal cord, and independently coordinates immunity. Removal may weaken gut-brain communication and microbiome resilience.
Wow.
Well, I think this is a bigger conversation that I love to bring. But Danny, yes, if we don't have to take it out, let's not. But we have 2 family members that when you get acute appendicitis, and for whatever reason, like our
one
little
was
nephew,
like 12 years old.
Yeah, brought up healthy, he could have died. Like if it gets to that point where you're in pain and it usually comes like a stomach ache, because it happened to our
sister-in-law, no, our cousin, our niece-in-law.
Niece-in-law too.
Yeah.
Same sort of thing. They kind of didn't feel well for a few days, but it wasn't hospital worthy, And then in just one day, it was acute pain, like just rolling around in pain, so that all the family members were like, this is not normal. Get in, they had to have emergency appendectomies.
Okay.
So I don't know why it does that in some people. And at that point, I think all they know how to do right now is take it out.
Okay.
But I agree, Danny. I mean, think about all the things that now they don't take out, where they used to lop off the tonsils.
A certain age, you got a sore throat, tonsils come out.
From a sore throat.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it was like prevention.
Well, back in our day, all my friends got their tonsils out, adenoids out. My husband got his adenoids out when he was a certain age because I think he had a cold. And, he's 15 years older than me. So in that time, they were just taking adenoids out.
Why?
They didn't even know what they were for.
On a cold.
For whatever reason, it was just like, let's lop
It's like a little
this
flap
out.
of skin. Take it off. You got 2 flaps here. Just take one off.
But
That
they
sounds like
yeah.
Stone Age.
Yeah.
Like how we look at like whatever projection of cavemen we have, where they're like trying to start a fire, and like, wow, how ridiculous, like how small-brained or whatever. Like that sounds like that to me, like just removing stuff.
I know, and now they have found out there's reasons for tonsils and adenoids.
I've got my you have your tonsils?
Yeah,
Yes.
got mine.
I remember,
Wild.
Serene, though, when you were a baby.
I was almost going to get them out.
You had tonsillitis 3 times, and the doctor said, we need to take these tonsils out. But our mum, being the crunchy mum she was,
Yeah, she
she's
didn't
like,
let
no,
'em.
God made her tonsils. I
Yes.
don't think we should
She
Praise the
sang
Lord
it.
for
She
Nancy
sang it
Campbell.
too.
I've still got my
Yes.
little tonsil flaps in
No,
there.
I don't think we should take them out. That's the way our mum
I have
talks.
big, horrific tonsils.
Do
Are they still in there?
you?
Yes, and they're big and horrific.
Still swollen?
I'm
going
gonna get to the
early
meat.
days? Okay.
They're not
I
swollen.
say
They're
the
just that
banter is
size.
over.
Okay.
I say it.
Shouts out to the big tonsil folk out there.
The meat! When we really get down to business. But don't hate us for the rabbit trails.
Let's see here.
You know what they say about people with big tonsils? They say, dang, they got big tonsils.
I think the tonsils are swollen actually indicates a bit of an immunity issue. So you keep
Immunity?
going on that kefir and see what happens to your tonsils. I bet they shrink.
I wonder if I've had because you can
Yeah.
have lifelong
Yeah.
stuff where, I
Swollen tonsils.
have nasty throat too.
Well, you have
Like
a
it's
case of nasty
inflamed.
throat. Yeah.
Like I have big tonsils and just like little red inflammation.
But you see, you did kefir for a couple of weeks and then you let it die. But now you're back. Pearl's grains.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how you do for 6 months, and I want you to come and report and
Okay.
check on your tonsils then.
I have meat.
All right?
I'm not prepared, but I have meat.
Okay.
We both came today and we thought the other had prepared, and we were like, no? Yeah. But I have backup always. Yeah. So I do have some notes on my phone that I have written about a subject that actually it's my passion. It's what makes my cells sing. Like if somebody was going to ask me what I'm about, I would say, and I think I've also talked already about it on this podcast a little bit. I think have I done a whole podcast on this already?
You did a halftime locker room podcast, which I
Yeah.
feel is a similar subject, but I need to hear it again. And if you have anything new, I'm here for it.
Okay. Because so this might be a part 2. It might be a re-toasting
Yes.
or a triple toasting. In fact, have you ever tried triple toast?
That sounds like
It's really
Burn
good. You
toast.
toast it, then you leave it.
okay.
You wait till it totally cools. You forget about it for a day.
No, even a couple hours.
And then you re-toast.
This is a mom hack
You
when you
forget
ruin
about
dinner.
it again. And then you say, oh, there's still toast in the toaster. And you
Yeah.
toast it again. And it's like this incredible, what they call in German Zwieback.
Yeah.
Like it's like a special rusk, teething
Like
rusk.
what they call in German Scheitze. Yeah, that's a secret mom hack for when you burn dinner.
No, you don't actually
It's
have
triple
to burn
toasted.
it. Okay.
no,
we're not-
it's not a burning. It's just, there's something about it.
Hey, do you
Yeah.
remember those people that we said, and I'm one of them, that I tune into for a podcast and I didn't even want them to say hello. I just want them to give me information.
You get to the information.
And Serena and I were talking about that on the weekend. We were in Dallas for some business. And we said, oh, yeah, we get to
Don't flex on me with your Dallas
Come on,
trip.
flex. It wasn't first class,
Okay.
though. We went to, we were saying, oh, yeah, we've got the Poddy again. Poddies are fun. And then I said, but you know what, Serena? I do feel sorry for some of our listeners because what I'm saying right now, right in this minute, is taking up their valuable time.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving them, if they just came here to say, hey, how do I fix my gut? Or how do I drop sugar? How
if
do
they
I...
wanted to watch a show of Seinfeld or Friends, okay, we're adding value to their life.
Right, but we said some are coming for that, some are coming. So we get why people get mad, but then we decided,
yeah,
okay, but we just want to come be friends with Danny and share some information.
yeah, we
and
didn't care
so-
enough.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Yeah, suck it up, buttercup. But I'm going to bring some things, but it's thrice toasted.
Here we go.
Hey, I thrice toasted the Thanksgiving turkey.
And I'm
one
going to
year.
read it on my Obama teleprompter, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. And then you're going to butt in as you feel necessary. And then at the end of it, I bring the altar call.
Yep.
And then I hand it over to whichever
Should
of
we
you.
play the bright worship music while you bring it in?
Yes.
I need to
Danny.
butt in
Get-
right now.
Cute
Okay.
quiet.
My favorite subject is contending.
Okay.
If you would say, what are you about, Serene? I would say, I'm about contending. Right. Don't settle. Fight for fullness, Dan.
Okay.
Fight for fullness. So what does it mean to contend? I looked up the dictionary. It means to engage in battle, to bring effort, to match effort. So it's effort meeting effort. It means to push through. It means to press on. Pearl. It means to rise up. To contend is to refuse to coast, to refuse to settle, and contending for all our Christianese people out there is kingdom living, right? It is, right? It's what we're all meant to be about, is just to ask for the abundance and to not give up until we're really living in the abundant life that God has for us. We're born for battle, and I love that beautiful description of the war horse in Job. It's one of my favorite descriptions, and it's amazing because you kind of sense the pride of the Creator as he talks about the war horse, and it's like the paws. The paws of it paws the ground fiercely. It laughs at fear. This is the war horse. It does not shy away from the sword. At the blast of the trumpet, it snorts. Aha! Because we were born with that innate instinct in us to be like that war horse, to meet the battle, right? We're made to charge in that same way, to carry fire into cold places, to live from identity, not for approval. So, I mean, we've talked before about contending for faith. Everyone knows about contending for faith, right? We're given these beautiful things in Christ, right? But we have to contend for them. They're gifts, but we have to contend to receive them. It says contend earnestly for the faith, right? It says it's a gift, but then it says in the Bible, contend earnestly. And Luke 12:48, it says, to whom much is given, much is required. So we're given so many things in life, but much is required of us to not just to maintain things, but to fight for the fullness of them. So we're being given salvation, but we're told we have to work it out with fear. We have to work it out with trembling. We're being given promises, but then we're told we have to hold fast to them with hope, which is Hebrews 10:23. And contending, what I'm bringing here today, we're going to go into other subjects. We're going to go beyond faith. We're going to bring it into the physical, into the practical today. But contending is how we hold on. It's our weapon. And Romans 4 talks about how Abraham didn't waver and how he strengthened his faith. He was given this gift of faith, but he had to strengthen it. He had to stir it up. And he contended. Like, he was told, okay, you're going to be the father of nations. And then for 25 years, he wasn't the father of nations, right? And he had to stir up that hope, and he had to hope when there was no hope to be found. He had to kind of stand in it. And there's an interesting story in the Bible. It's between the epic faith stories of Noah and the epic faith story of Abraham, and it's the story of Terah, the father of Abraham, right? Where he embarks on his journey to go to the promised land, to go to Canaan. But he stops halfway. He stops at comfortability. He sees like a place of comfort. He sees Haran, which is like the half place mark, and he's like, well, this is nice. This feels comfortable. And he settles there. He settles and comfortable, but he never actually goes to the promised land. And I feel like that is something that I feel in my bones. Like, I don't ever want to just say, oh, okay, I've arrived in my faith, or I've arrived in my marriage, or I've arrived in my health because I don't get headaches anymore. And I feel like I'm at goal weight. So I've arrived. No, I don't want to be one of those people that just settles in the comfortable. I always want to be the one keeping on the journey and journeying on and saying, where's the next mountaintop? Like,
Well, I love that you're speaking this, because this is, like you said, the essence of who you are. But I need to ask you, this contending is what I've done since I went through menopause, just because I was getting undone.
and we're going to get to that.
Right. I was getting undone, so I had to start contending.
Yeah.
Right. And you were always contending.
Yeah.
But there's this other side, and maybe you're going to bring it, but I want to set it up, because some people are like me, where it's like, but Serene, I don't want my health journey to just be exhausting all the time. Isn't there somewhere that, we're not talking about coasting, but is it wrong with comfortability in my health journey where I'm doing well now? Things are easier.
Well, let
Do
me
I have
answer
to have
that.
angst and
No.
always
Contending for me is not hustling.
Okay.
Contending for me is having a fire inside of me, an excitement. Contending for me is the excitement of hope. It's the excitement that says there's something more for me out there. Like a child before Christmas. Like, it's like, ooh, I wonder what's underneath that tree. There's no like, well, maybe with 5-year-olds there is a little bit of anxiety about Christmas, but there should be just excitement about some good things yet on the horizon.
That, because for some of us, it's all about the lens, right? Because
Right.
I know sometimes when I'm doing something just well and I hear about something else that now I got to do that, I do start to feel overwhelmed. And I know that for some people, when you and I learned about the need for protein as we age, which we didn't understand fully, and we brought it and we said, hey, actually, we used to say, just anchor your meals with protein. Numbers don't matter. And if we were pushed for a number, we're like, get 20 grams. Well, we got more knowledge and we
Right.
started to tell people, hey, we're really excited to get 25 to 30 grams now. You want to come along with us? And for many, it was lens happy, lens excitement, yes. But for some, it was like, bang my head against the wall. Now it's just another thing.
Right, but I'm challenging the mindset
Yes.
of comfortability.
Okay.
I'm saying, are you going to settle in comfortability, or are you going to have the adventurous spirit of contending? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, look at what you could have. Like Terah, he settled in the land of comfortability, and that halfway point, he had a great life, but he didn't have all of the promises. He didn't have the abundant life. And I'm saying there's so much more out there. Hey, stay in comfortability, stay in halfway, stay in just okay. But I'm saying there is more, and I'm inspiring a look to the horizon. And another thing, you're talking about angst. Oh my goodness, my phone keeps closing like a
Remember I
battery
talked to you about
saver.
systems today?
Yeah, well. But contending for your inner life is part of contending for me. I have so many different areas that are my special pet contending subjects. One of them we're going to talk about later on. It's fantastic aging and another marriage. But the third that is like all key, and this, well, maybe this is my most important, is contending for my life on the inside is more important than my life on the outside. And you know how the Bible in Hebrews actually 4:11, it says, make every effort to enter into rest. So there is this effort that we have, but once we're there, we just stay and remain and rest. And rest is where we contend from. We don't contend from angst, because when you're rushing about the house, you're trying to get out and you're trying to get things done. The more you rush, the less you do. Yeah. The more you spill the milk, the more you yell at the children, the more everything comes undone, and you're trying to zip up your purse and you're trying to do it so fast that everything falls out of your purse. And it's like the more you are full of anxiety, the less you contend. So I'm just saying, when we find that rest is the battery house. It's like the engine we contend from. It's that inner burning, this fire. It's a peaceful fire, but it's not a fire of anxiety. It's a fire of rest.
I think you cleared it up for me really well.
And so, but I want to say some things. Okay, so now we're on the subject, and please don't my phone. I just pray that it doesn't shut down, because I have to go find the
unless
spot.
you change the setting.
You have to change the settings, baby girl.
Okay. Well, anyway, I have to refine myself. But do you want to hear how I contend for my inner space?
Yeah.
I mean, it may not be interesting for people that aren't believers, but I think everybody, even if they're not believers, because I'm saying this because we have about 50% of our listeners are not necessarily Christians who follow our beliefs, but I think it's also a cultivation that anyone could do. I think that only true peace can be found through Jesus. That's my belief. But I think cultivating peace on the inside is so important. But this is how I cultivate my inner life. I've been using my imagination, and it's been so fun. Like, it's been the most interesting hobby. And I have really used my imagination before for darkness, and it was so easy. I didn't even have to try it. It was already built in my programming.
Can you give an example
That's
of
my
that?
favorite hobby.
Well,
Yeah.
if my husband was half an hour late from work,
He's dead.
Yeah.
I see the car deep in the ravine.
Yeah.
No, cinematography is epic,
Yeah.
right? It's got like it's the mist, it's everywhere, and it's like the glass on the road at the same time. It's like you go from one scene to the next scene, and soundtrack fully orchestrated. Like, I don't know how my brain does it so amazingly.
Do you
Like,
see yourself running up and crumbling
no, I
to your
don't.
knees?
I'm from a distance. I'm actually not at the crash scene. I am
Okay.
home at the same time, and both scenes have been acted
Yeah.
out and imagined. But
So
then
you're
I
on
go
the
to the
phone.
scene of the graveside,
Yeah.
clutching the
Yeah.
wet dirt by as they plop on the coffin. Like, I have my imagination does that, and I don't even have to bring energy for it. It just does it.
Do you
And
ever see yourself as the dead one?
I have.
No.
I've done that.
See,
Yeah,
I've
I've done
never,
that.
I've never once and my imagination runs wild with anxiety, like someone's paying me. Mine has never once seen my wife
Really?
in some problem or trauma or anything. It's always me in the grave. And it's
Narcissist.
and it's specifically not even my sons, but my daughters are standing
yeah,
over the grave,
Oh.
and they've lost their father.
And so you're feeling for them. So it's actually
Yeah,
not
so
narcissist.
it's not
even
narcissist.
me.
It's not you.
It's your,
It's
it's your
them.
father's heart.
Losing their daddy.
No, it's my trauma wound of growing up without a father.
Yeah.
It's my great fear that my kids would have to.
Oh, but
But
see,
I'm-
that's
I'm
still
working through
thinking
it.
of them. Okay,
Can anyone
continuing.
take her phone while she's talking and
no,
fix it?
just stop. I want to continue this because there's other things we use our imaginations for the negative. We imagine people's thoughts about us. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Half the time they're not true. We imagine assumptions.
Yes.
We imagine the things that they're thinking about. Oh, I bet you he's thinking right now that. I bet you my husband's thinking that I look older now than like legit, I will just make up stuff
Me
that he's
too.
never even entered his head. Like, I will think, and it's all my imagination.
But even if it has entered his head, it doesn't do good to dwell on it.
can you
Who
imagine
cares?
the anger that you'll feel? Like, I will
Yeah.
be angry if so and so comes home and I've asked him, if my teenage son has come home and I asked him if he's done that particular job and he hasn't, and you imagine the anger, you imagine the scenario.
I imagine open hand slapping middle school boys.
So I've decided to take every thought captive, to take my imagination captive. But I've been just really intrigued with this whole topic of framing up things, seeing them. The Bible's all about seeing things. Faith is the substance of things that are not. They're not there yet, but you have to see it. You basically create it through faith, and then it comes, right? It's the whole quantum world. It's science
That's
now.
so
It's
interesting.
proving the Bible, but I'm like
substance.
framing things up in my
That's the substance.
through the imagination. So you know how it says the kingdom of God is within me.
Yeah.
Well, I've just framed up this kingdom. So I've gone to the Word and I've looked kind of like what it's described it like. So I've just decided to just build it all up inside of me, and it's so fun, right? And a little bit of unique creativity of mine. So Graham Cook was once talking about how he loves to just kind of like sit in the living room with God. He has this living room inside of himself with God, and I thought that's a great idea. So I'm going to do that. But I didn't stop there, and I've got certain furniture in there. I've got this hot tub that I sit in, and it's God's hot tub of peace.
Is he in the tub with you?
Sometimes if I'm sitting in,
Can I
no,
ask you
God's
something?
not
And
in
this
the
is
hot tub.
it's not weird.
Oh, he's not in the hot
It's
tub.
not
No.
weird, but God made you, right? And you're in the hot tub. Are you in a swimsuit or fully naked? Because God
Yeah,
knows you're
that's
naked.
fair.
That's so
it's just a
weird.
good question.
That's a fair
Never
question.
thought about that.
It's real important to
I
me.
have never thought whether there was clothes or not clothes. But listen,
Well, what is there?
Don't you picture yourself?
No, I picture, and God's not in the hot tub. I picture in this living room, there's certain things, like sometimes if I feel stress coming upon me, I will sit in this hot tub in this like
And it's in the living room.
I need
It's-
to know if you're clothed.
It's basically like this inner room of the kingdom, and I'm like the princess, right? I'm the daughter of the king, and I'm like, and I get in the hot tub and I just let this warm water of peace. It's peace. The water is peace, and I just let it bathe every cell.
Okay, but is it like an ancient like palms
yes.
in-ground hot tub
Oh,
spa?
yes. I mean,
Roman
I
spa.
can't even,
okay.
like-
We're not talking about a
I'm
Spa
talking
King.
no, like plastic size.
yeah.
Like trailer home. No.
That's what I thought at first.
No, my decked out world in there is so amazing.
But you see, my
I've
imagination,
actually been
I'm
decking
sorry
it
to
out.
derail you, but I
Solomon's
like this,
Chambers.
and you got to help me.
Oh, it's beyond. Solomon's Chambers are so trailer home in comparison to what I've decked
To
out.
your
Okay, but-
spa,
Okay,
Jesus.
but
time.
you two, Pearl's listeners right now want to ask this question.
It's so weird that you thought about
If
it.
she doesn't say
It's
so.
important.
herself.
I want to have a hot tub too.
Okay.
But I see myself in it,
Yeah.
and I need to know to really go there. I'm going to picture myself in there because I can feel that hot water. I need to know if I'm clothed or not. Do I have like an olden day Egyptian swimsuit
Yes,
on?
It's a
You
fair
would
question.
like that. Yes.
Because I have to picture
Okay.
it.
It's a
But you
fair
know,
question.
this is your
I feel
personal.
ooky,
this
even
is-
though God knows what I look like naked. I feel
You never
ooky.
pray to God in the shower.
Yes,
I always pray to God
but
in
I'm
the
not
shower.
picturing myself in the shower.
Okay, well, this is
It's
for
like
you
your little
to
spirit.
take to the Lord. Okay. No, I'm not spirit. I am me. I am me. I am real.
in
I
the
am
tub.
flesh, and I'm in the tub.
Okay.
But I've never thought about what. Maybe I should go think about
The
what I'm
steam
wearing.
covers you, maybe.
Okay, shut up. We're moving on, but I just want to say, in this, I've also built up like this bed chamber, because when I go to sleep at night, Pearl has come here to the potty, and she says, I love to do certain things before I go to sleep. I love to be thankful. In the morning, she's thankful, and at night, she goes through her list of thankfulness.
That's on my good days.
Yeah, and okay. But
I
I've
try
decided,
to keep
but
more
none
good
of
than
this
bad.
is tradition and rote. This is something I
yeah.
love to do, and I'm never going to get it to be like, I must tick my box. I must go sit in a hot tub before going
Yeah.
into this imaginary bed. That's weird. This is something I enjoy as a pastime when I need it. And just instead of doing evil imaginations, this is a fun thing for me
Yeah.
because it's real and it's framing up the kingdom of God and it makes it more real, right?
Yeah.
So I have this bed. And so at night, I imagine myself laying in this special bed in this inner sanctuary that, because we have this inner life, right? God dwells in us. The fullness of God dwells in us. So I'm like laying in this bed, and he puts a sheet over me of deep soul rest. And then
Jammies?
I have a couple
another-
as well, but you go first.
Yes.
Jammies or no jammies? I need to know.
If you wear jammies to bed, you've got jammies
But I
on.
don't.
And when you say,
I'm wrecking my dog.
I also would like, if I may,
Yes.
when you say he, you're in the bed. Is he like bedside, like a dad tucking you in?
It's
Or
the
is it-
Spirit of God, I feel. I don't even
There's not a
see-
male.
No, it's it's the Spirit. It's the Holy Spirit is what I can see.
Like a wind pulls the sheet.
Do you know what?
You haven't visualized it properly because we
I
have
have.
questions.
No, I have. But you see, you need to do that in your inner life. My inner life doesn't need this, okay? I see this blanket covering me, and it's like this blanket of thankfulness for the day. But I get tucked in by all this stuff. And then
Okay.
I lay my head on this pillow of the mind of Christ. And like as I sleep, that I know that I'm kind of like giving permission to the Holy Spirit to like cleanse anything in my brain that's not of him, things that I've built up in my brain, synapses that I've like whirred around in my brain that aren't bringing me any fruit, you know? Like I know that I have to do the work for that in the day, like taking thoughts captive. But this is something that it's just for me, and maybe it's not for anybody else, but it's so been incredible for contending for my inner walk with God, and I'm just so enjoying
Do
it.
you feel like you have literally more peace since you've practiced
So
this?
much more peace. And then in the day, like sometimes I'll walk through the orchard of the fruits of the Spirit. Like he says he's given us fruits of the Spirit. Well, I've depicted these orchards and I'll go walk, I'll stroll with God. I'll go think, well, what fruit of the Spirit do I really want to sometimes you just have to, during the day, just go and grab the fruit of the Spirit you need.
New peeps in the room, can you mention the fruits of the Spirit?
You know, it's like peace, love, joy, patience, long-suffering, gentleness, kindness, you know, self-control.
Meekness.
And sometimes I'm like, I need joy right now, and I'll just grab it and shove it in my mouth. I need patience. I'll shove it in my mouth so I don't yell at somebody.
Fruit.
The fruit. I'll pick it and shove it. But sometimes I will take a stroll through this orchard, right? And it's the most beautiful experience. Like I am there and I'm walking bare feet on this most beautiful soft grass and nothing's hurting my feet. I'm grounding. And I'll like, what fruit of the Spirit do I really want to practice right now? What do I want to taste? And I will really practice and contemplate and really celebrate one fruit for a while. And it's kind of just an enjoyable experience. And maybe it's woo-woo to everybody else, but it's been life to me.
No, it's huge.
It's so
It's not
Hey,
woo-woo.
even non-Christians would call that visualization.
Yeah.
And for you to have actual places that you go and you frequent them is really cool. I have a place I go.
Yes, tell
it's
me,
a
Dan.
it's a FedEx type of
Are you
shipping.
wearing a FedEx uniform? Because the girl will need to know this.
Yeah, no, I'm naked. No, I'm not. It's a FedEx type of warehouse where boxes are
Yeah.
and there's a crew.
Yeah.
And the crew is handing down things into my spirit,
Yeah.
and I am handing up things to the crew. So I'm like getting rid of
Wow.
stuff and bringing
I
stuff.
love that.
And the crew is giving me stuff.
I love
and I've
that.
I never chose that.
Yeah.
I found myself
Doing that. Yeah.
over and over,
Yeah.
and not by choice, but I love.
I love
wanna-
the orchard the best.
the
Do you know
orchard's
what-
nice.
Do you know what
Yeah.
else I do? Sometimes I will feel an anxiety come over me or a fear. And I will say, oh no, I'm inside the kingdom. And I will shove that fear outside of the kingdom. But see, this
Yeah.
beautiful palace that's there, this home that God's gone to prepare. You know, he says, I go prepare a place for you. But eternal life starts now. So
It
I've
says-
actually started living
yeah.
in this place he's prepared for me.
Yeah.
That maybe I'll one day go on the physical, but I'm actually enjoying it now. And I've decked it out,
Well,
man.
hold on. That's great because what did Jesus pray in the Lord's Prayer? Thy kingdom come.
Yeah.
Namely, thy will be done on earth
But
as
you know
it is
how,
in heaven.
Pearl-
So you're being biblical.
But
it's
you know
not
how
woo-woo.
you and Charlie love to pick out furniture together and all that kind of stuff. My home's not done yet, so I haven't really gone
You
to
got
the
nice stuff.
Yeah, but still, me and God picking out the furniture for this place has been so
Yeah,
fun. But anyway,
really.
so I shoved the fear out of the not just out of the palace, but out of the gate that surrounds the whole kingdom of God. And do you know this is the epicness. You have to see this with like surround sound, like all of the cinematography of the best directors. But there is the palace. Then there is this gate of stone so high. And then there's this force field of the Spirit of God around it. Then there's the Lion of Judah in front of that. And
you
the
have a
fear
lion.
has to get past all of those layers before it can even come
I'm doing a
to
lion.
to the palace. And then I'm inside of the palace in this throne room, living room place. But it's not all claustrophobic because it's actually open. Like there's open roofs to everything where I'm smelling the fragrance. Oh, I mean, this place is gorgeous.
Okay, but how then, you mentioned, and I just need to know this because I'm a detail person, you mentioned it would be very hard to get fear in through all those layers, but occasionally it does, Serene, and you said what do you do with it?
Well, like I just keep shoving it back out through those layers, but it just takes 1 second because I see it out of all those 4 layers. I just
Okay.
imagine it on the other side, and then it can't get through. But then sometimes I'll just repeat certain lines. Certain lines are just for me. I can't believe I'm saying all this personal stuff, but I'll be like, no, you've given me a covenant of peace and completeness. Because in that word completeness, it speaks to me of like anxiety for me is something like, oh, something's undone, something's not right. And I don't even know necessarily what it is, but it'll be a feeling of something I have to fix to make peace for myself. But I'm like, no, you've given me a covenant of peace and of completeness. It was a line I read in the Amplified Bible, a scripture,
That's
and
beautiful.
it was like so
I think I love
incredible
this
for
that
me.
you're actually being super honest and sharing because we have sat here party after party and talked about how we personally take bioidentical hormones and we strength train and all these things bless our mind and body. And we talk about how we have come quite far physically and we're in a better state mentally and physically. But you're still sharing. I love this because sometimes, I see women, they get on hormones and yes, physical anxiety turns down or other
Yeah.
things that estrogen helps. But guess what? estrogen can't make our minds perfect.
Right.
And there's still this spirit inside us that wrestles with anxiety or wrestles with fear. We have to do this extra work.
But to me, it's like not even work. It's like
It's
I
fun for you.
love, like, okay, what do you want to do, Serene? You want to go watch a movie? You want to go, like, whatever, or you want to go sit on the couch with a cup of tea and go into your inner world? Like, it's fun for me. And do you know what's really woo-woo? You want me to go extra woo-woo?
Yes, please.
I'll see.
Okay, this is really woo-woo.
All the way.
I imagined, like, me wearing, because we're all the bride of Christ. But, okay, so it's all every joint supply, and we all make up the bride of Christ. And as the Bible speaks to us, the ancient scriptures, it's speaking to the church as a whole. But the church is made up of individuals, and it's also speaking like, the Song of Solomon is so personal. It's so like he loves each one of us as the beloved. Each one of us is that bride of Christ, and he would have died on the cross for one individual, right? So I imagined him putting this ring on my finger, right? And it was it was the covenant of peace that he's given me. See, because I imagine all this stuff. So actually, I've been looking at some rings lately, this ruby ring of gold, and I'm actually going to buy myself one so that when I look down, I'm taken to the fact that that inner world is so real. It's like communion. We take
Right now
bread
at
and we
home,
take
just
wine
raise your hands
because we
to
have a
heaven.
physical representation of what God is giving us. And I haven't told Sam that I want to spend $1,000 on this ring I'm looking at.
but it's
There is a
worth it.
$50 one, but I don't think it's going to do it justice.
No, it won't be
No,
a real
but
ruby.
Serene, think about it. You're right. You're spot on what that will do for your knowledge of realness. When I look down at my hand, I know I'm married. Everyone
Yes.
looks around me and knows she's married. It's the same thing. It's a knowing.
Yes.
And what you are doing is just speaking to yourself in the world of that knowing.
Yeah.
Now, you need a magical $1,000 ruby.
Yeah, it's $1,000, the one I
it's
want.
just what it
yeah.
costs to get a
But I'm going to ask Sam. I
mineral
think he won't think I'm too
thing
woo-woo.
from the earth.
Yeah.
I have this thing I do when I need to get it out.
Yes.
I will take a handful of it right out of the heart,
Yeah.
and I'll just be like, poof. I'll just
Yeah.
give it out. Often it's anxiety.
Yeah, so you do
Yeah.
the physical
I'll
thing.
just
You
I'll,
just like
I'll go
pour
and I'll
it.
pull it up,
Yeah.
and sometimes I'll open my mouth.
Yeah.
And I will just allow it to leave like my heart.
Yeah.
And I actually have talked to people with extreme trauma who say that that is a very helpful visual to them. And the mantra I give them when they grab it, because some of it always, you don't pull it all. Trauma takes a long time,
Yeah.
years of walking through sometimes. Some people, they have an encounter, an event or something, and it's seems to be gone for a long time. Then it resurfaces. Some it's gone forever. But most of the time, there's some left, right? And the mantra is when they open their hand is, I am not my body. Especially for people who've suffered in their bodies trauma.
Yeah.
I am not my body. That mentality of letting things go, not taking the things that where your body was harmed so seriously. That's a huge way to step out of real trauma.
So
Have you
true.
heard, you guys, and I don't remember the studies, but I remember reading of studies, and you guys might be able to pull them out of your head, about how, cancer patients have even alongside of their medicines, alongside of whether they're doing, allopathic or more of a natural approach, how they will actually be told by their doctors to imagine the cancer cells, whichever way best suits them, imagine them being destroyed.
Yeah.
Imagine them being slashed through by the white blood cells, but the white blood cells are like white horses with knights with swords in them, and whatever that works best, that makes it feel so real and the battle winning in their favor. And how that actually the patients that did that alongside had actually better results
Yes.
than not using visualization.
I do that, Serene, when I'm having cancer anxiety, which is one of my favorite anxieties to revisit
Yeah.
all the time. I will imagine a gold cleansing wind spiraling from like my ankles up my legs, through my torso, arms, head, and cleaning out all of the whatever might go wrong in my body, disease and everything. And I just start to chant in my mind. It's all fake, right?
Yeah.
Is it though?
No, it's not. Well, but you
channel
know,
it-
when that's another thing. When I strength train and I get in my little homemade garage gym, and I feel my heart beating after a set, and I feel the sweat start to come. I'm so thankful for it because I know it's cleaning out the senescent skills.
Pressing it out.
Like it
Yeah.
is for scientifically, I know. But when instead of like, oh, I'm glad that's over, I'm like visualizing that cleanse.
I just did the physics necessary to
Yeah.
cleanse my body.
and now I'm cleansing it
just-
for real.
You just brought it,
She's going to write.
brought a major point there
Get
when
it?
you said, exercise. What do they say? They say if you really want to get the pump, you have to get that mind-body connection. They say visualize the muscle. Concentrate on that muscle.
Yeah.
You don't just think of grocery lists and think about the next thing to do. You won't actually build the same amount of muscle as if you were like, okay, I see that glute muscle squeezing and it's not like you can look behind you and see it. You may not have mirrors in your gym. Meaning you're visualizing the contraction. You're visualizing what happens and it brings better results.
I know. And, I think it's part of all the journey. And there's no like, because I used to listen to a lot of podcasts. It was like multitasking while I was working out. And I still do on occasion because I only have so much time in my life. But I've always watched you, Serene, and you are a natural contender. And you don't want to waste your workout. And I've seen you visualize. Like I've watched you exercise and your amount of focus on that one exercise. I can see it and it has rubbed off on me because you've gotten great results. But I think it's powerful. I don't want to always necessarily do that in my workouts, but
Each to their own. And
Yeah.
like I said before with this whole inner kingdom, if I had to do that every day and it became a chore, like something I had to fill in, that would be so weird and so undoing of my health.
yes.
It's I get to, and that's a fun little getaway. I'd never want it to be religion because that's weird.
I know I've got a
That's
great
chains.
analogy. Got a great analogy. Sometimes I think we just should because if you don't start somewhere, like, sorry, I don't feel like, being visualizing in my head about the kingdom and peace. Don't want to. It feels boring. We'll never do it.
Yeah.
We'll never start.
Yeah.
Just like sometimes I could go in the gym, like, I don't want to visualize that muscle that feels like work. And sometimes it should be just doing it to do it. And sometimes it's spontaneous.
Yeah.
And that is real flow, right?
Yeah.
But I was thinking, it's kind of like sex and marriage.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so beautiful and spontaneous and both people are coming together like we're in the mood and this is really happening and this is great.
Yeah.
Other times it's just like it's been a while, both of us, and we're like, well, we should really come together. And one person might have something else in their head and the other, but you do it because that's what you do when you're married.
Right, exactly. And so if we are really the bride of Christ, if we are really having this union with him, sometimes we need some visualization. We need to really get ourselves in the mood.
That's what I'm saying.
For oneness of soul. Another thing that I've been thinking about lately is just think about technology right now. Think about how we used to think way back when, like, or our great-grandparents or the great-great-great-great-great-parents must have thought photography, like seeing your image in ink on a piece of paper. What witchcraft, right? Like how freaking and the fact that you can put a piece of rubber, and put like a wheel around it, and you can hear all kinds of instruments on that, like even just the old vinyls, even just that technology alone. Even the old ribbon on a VHS, there's people in that ribbon acting.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? Like, and we're way more advanced than that now. Think of artificial intelligence, AI, and all of this stuff.
I know,
And the
I was
quantum world and
thinking-
entanglement and everything.
I was saying the other day, Danny, I've got this relationship with Auntie Chatty, but you have your relationship with Auntie Chatty. I might be talking to her at 11. Hey, can you help me with this paragraph? Thanks. And another person is asking her, she's probably got millions asking it all at once, kind of like God, right? and she's answering them all uniquely at the same time.
It might be a he for some people.
Yeah, it's a he. Whatever. And then I thought, okay, that sounds super woo-woo. This is getting really weird for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking to Chatty, but so all these other people at
She
the same
thinks
time.
Chatty is her best friend.
No, but listen.
I'm in the trash.
Then I thought, this is scary. This is playing God. You know, I don't even know about Chatty, but she's really helping me, but I don't know about her anymore.
Yeah.
But then I thought, all these things are just a type. It makes me think, if this is Chatty, then God is a trillion, million times more.
Because you know how sometimes you're just like, what an incredible experience. Like, I feel his presence and I feel like he really cares about every detail of my life and I feel really loved. But how can that be when then I go into the airport bustling with all these mankind, humanity, and you're like, can he really have that intimacy with every single person that's ever lived on this? But that's what AI is having an experience for many people. God is so much more, way more incredible. But this is the thing. My point was this.
Danny's holding a phone. Yes.
If
Got
the
my
quantum
studies.
world and all the fact that, you know, really what is seen is held by all of this unseen world, I think imagination and the childhood brain of framing things up is all actually so instinctual and so old world, but so taking us into where we're meant to go, not just for technology, but for our relationship with Christ. I feel like scriptures are coming alive to me instead of just being like, yes, the kingdom of God is within you. It was what was that? But now it means something to me.
Well, we're made in the image of God,
Right.
the imagination. I mean,
Oh, well,
yeah.
I never really saw it.
if you go deep on image,
Yeah.
go
Wow.
deep
That's
on the
beautiful.
origins of the word, the three magi,
Wow.
the magi. There is a creative flow state of imagination in fact, scientists describe the formations of our solar system in image ways, like as in there was an impetus and they won't say thought, but they'll describe thought. You know what I mean? They won't say that it was spoken into existence, but they'll describe, you know, palabras, word play as things. It's the same language, but it's making sure they're quick to make sure that there's no religious type of sound to it. But the more they talk, the more religious it sounds. You know, and so the imagination is really powerful. I was just wanting to tell you about there was a visualization study by Dr. Guang Yi at the Cleveland Clinic Foundation in the early 2000s, which demonstrated that mental imagery alone, just imagining performing physical exercises, led to measurable strength gains. And so there were participants divided into groups. One group that physically exercised their finger muscles, and one group that only visualized. Oh, I thought he was visualizing things. One group that only visualized doing the same finger exercise, just did mental contractions. They pictured their finger.
And then there was a group that did nothing at all, probably.
And one control group that did nothing. And the physical training group increased finger strength by 30%. The mental training group, the ones who did no physical work but just imagined, they increased by 13.5.
Wow.
So almost half as good
Yes.
as actually strength training.
Yeah.
What about the control?
And the control group saw no improvement.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's so interesting you saying that, because in Brett Contrerish's book, the Glute Lab book
Yes.
that you've got now too,
Big nerdy book.
I did cut out some pictures from the inside just
Oh
for
my
all of
goodness.
you
no
purdies
one,
that are
no one
listening.
is as purdy as you.
Okay, but anyway, he talked about how he ripped a glute muscle and he was out of the gym for a while, but he was like, he'd heard about visualization. So when he was laying there recovering, he went through his workouts.
Yeah.
They took them quicker because he didn't have to wait 3 minutes between the sets.
Yeah.
But he actually went through how many reps, how many sets. He did it all with imagination. And he said that not only did he heal faster than the doctors thought possible, but that it just was so much easier to get back into it, that he hadn't lost as much strength as what that they had thought would happen. Have you read that part yet?
I haven't read that part.
Yeah.
They
It's amazing.
in this study they said that the strength gain wasn't due to muscle hypertrophy.
Yeah.
Is that how you say that?
Yep.
Yes.
Growth in muscle size, but rather due to neuromuscular adaptation.
Wow.
Neuromuscular
Yeah.
adaptation. It says, in other words, better brain to muscle signaling.
Wow.
The brain essentially trained itself and improved its ability to activate the muscle even without movement.
It's so amazing. And you know how it says pray without ceasing and blah, 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 blah. I used to not know how to do that kind of thing. I just felt like I was very removed in the world and then, I better connect with God. But I feel like now there's this outer world that I'm living with and this inner world, and it's kind of all at the constancy. It's all at the same time, and it's just so exciting. But, we have some other areas of contending too. Like we can go over them quickly. I'm just thinking contending for fantastic aging. We've crisped this up before, but let me just say it again. People, they put new ceiling, roofing shingles on their roof.
When it's required.
When it's required.
Every 10 years,
they
yes.
put this extra paint coat when it's required. They change the oil on the car. They think it needs a new paint job or whatever. You upgrade your iPhones. You're all about upgrades when it comes to technology, when it comes to other things that you are responsible for looking after, like your cars and your houses and stuff.
You go to your dental appointments.
Yeah. But when it comes to fantastic aging, for contending for your metabolism and your immune system through muscle, which is the best way to maintain, your metabolism and your immune system through building muscle. People are like, no, that's just a hobby if you want to or you don't want to. It's kind of like a gym bro little hobby. It's not a hobby. I'm here to say it's a responsibility. It's like saying your roofing tiles, there's a few that need repair. So fantastic aging to me is an area of contending that I really want to crack the whip on. I don't want to be as gentle as the other stuff.
Okay.
I want to say that think about it, people. Think about how it makes sense in most other areas of your life to contend. We don't handshake with the demise of our house. We don't say, you're over 40 now, house. You're over the hill, so we'll just let you go and look like that.
We protect, we upkeep and renovate our historic
and we
homes.
the historic homes are the ones like you're older or we're going to make you fine. Yeah. We're going to really hone you and make you shine in your older age.
Ooh, I love that, Serene. Think about that.
Yeah.
As we get older, we're more historic homes, right? We house the spirit. Well, historic homes, they really go in and you know what they do? They celebrate the architecture too.
And they need tender, loving care.
Yes.
And sometimes they have to go and give them an overhaul. Have you seen those historic homes in Franklin? And they have all of those. Yeah, they gut them. They have all of that scaffolding all around to hold them together while they rearrange stuff and put on different siding.
Yeah.
My point being, though, is it's not just a little gym bro hobby. Strength training. You don't have to go and build the biggest muscles, but go in and the responsibility and the contending of going to the gym is like brushing your teeth.
You're going to make time for it.
Contending for your teeth, you contend for your muscles.
You're going to make time for it when you're older in disease and hospital visits.
Yeah.
Then
Oh,
you'll
yeah,
make
you
time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you are.
What about contending for marriage? Let's talk about that for a second. Like, I think a lot of people just be like, okay, we they care about the things they do as married couples. They care about ticking off the vacation with the children. They care about making sure, we know whose role is whose and who's meant to be doing the dishes on this night and whatever. But are we making them so...
Well, I want to butt in
electric?
here because I
Please
feel
butt
like
in.
that's where a
Please butt
lot
in.
of people get tripped up. I follow a lot of people who speak on marriage on Facebook. So my newsfeed is full of like, do this and, couples important to communicate. Well, I see this is the most common, and these have like thousands of comments, and most people say, yeah, that's fine if you've got two partners that want to do that. Well, if you've got a spouse who wants to do that, that's great. My spouse wouldn't. So I think what you and I have come to, when we say contending for marriage, it's not even really worrying about that other spouse or what they're doing.
Together.
No, it's contending separately to bring your best self,
Yes.
whatever they're bringing.
Yeah.
And when you bring your best self, they will likely bring their best selves
Yes.
too. But I have found when I think the best about my husband, when I look at him like I was when I was dating, when I speak to him like I'm still in that time where I'm falling in love with him and seeing his good qualities, then he shows me his good qualities.
I agree. I'm not contending for our electricity.
Yeah.
I'm contending for my electricity, which then turns on his, hopefully. It has in my marriage, but I'm just saying, even if it hadn't, I'm still contending for, like you said, for what am I meant, am I meant to show up? And I think that's an area I feel like.
Because waiting for that other person
Yes.
to respond
Yeah.
is really, it can be very defeating.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
If you want to stay in your marriage, and
Yeah,
I think most of us do.
And what do you want to say about that, Dan? Because you have a lot to say about marriage.
Well,
It's a very
I
big
think-
pregnant pause.
yeah, I think people get divorced because they have subconsciously subscribed to an idea of marriage, and they have not shown up to sacrifice and love another person. And those are two completely opposite things. And what happens is no one ever, and this is why there's serial divorce now in our country, is they think that they got a bad one. Like, oh, darn,
Yeah,
I
a
got
bad
a
one.
busted one.
Yeah.
And then they think there's all these good ones out there. And all the other ones are, I mean, yeah, you might find one that doesn't have his
Yeah.
problem,
Yep.
but he has a new one that's equal to or greater than the original, and you'll miss. God, at least it was this. You'll look back and
Oh, that's such truth, Danny.
You'll be nostalgic to your old problems.
yeah, you'll start to be nostalgic. You'll miss your old demons.
And we're not talking about officially bad people. Let's wipe that off. We're talking about
Yes.
the general person here.
There is. You know what? I don't know the percentage, but I'm willing to bet. I'll do the studies later. I'm willing to bet it is extremely low where there's a bad guy or a bad girl and you got him.
And that doesn't mean perfect.
No.
That's what we.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
you're
have
going to
to
see the problems.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what it used to be that, and it should be again. I mean, this is something I'm saying a lot is that, hit the 20-year mark in your marriage and see the new fruit that just got here after 20 years, the thing you've been craving for so long. Much of that is on the other side of 20 years. It's like, oh man, I wish it was like this or that. And usually you're referring to something you saw on the internet or something you saw in a movie or your own stupid fantasy that, from reading a children's book when you were little or something, and here is a human that you ended up with. And man, you've got to suffer long. You need to learn to suffer long. And if you do, again, I actually, it's about 15. It's on the other side of 15 years is when a lot of the impasses that you couldn't figure out, you start to figure that
But
stuff
you know what
out.
I think, Danny? I think you miss those if you lose gratitude. I think you see them and find those beautiful gems and treasures that come with time only if you're looking for them and only if you have a
It's true.
for a heart full of gratitude to actually seek them out.
No, that's huge because if your eye is bad,
Yeah.
your whole body's going to be full of darkness.
I can my husband can do something and I'll just start thinking about, and he doesn't think of me this way. I'm so blessed. He doesn't dwell on my issues. He literally knows I'm not perfect, but decides in his head, Pearl's so great.
Yeah.
Whereas I can really see his flaws and really think about, well, I wish he was this and help him with that and all these things. But if I instead put all that aside and focus on gratitude, my husband is like the king of the world. I'm like, what were you even thinking, Pearl?
Yeah.
I couldn't be that. I'm the most blessed woman in the world. What the heck? It's my lens.
Yeah.
It's always the
so
lens. You
true.
can find a lot of gratitude in
Yeah.
really almost any, again, 1%. Yeah, there's some freaks out there.
There are.
But most, I bet you no one qualifies for that
And
from
what we're
people
talking
listening
about
today.
with freaks
Yeah,
is people that actually want you to be hurt. They might hurt you. Those imperfect, good-hearted people,
They don't wanna hurt.
They may hurt you, but they don't want
Yeah.
to hurt you.
I hurt my
The
wife
things-
this morning.
The things they do are going to hurt you, betray you, like annoy you, frustrate you, but their heart is not to hurt you.
I'll show you my text feed.
Yeah.
Scroll the hurt that I caused, but it's
Is she
needs
good
to,
at forgiving you when you
Oh,
you
yeah.
really show up?
She'll text me. She will tell me the hurts that I've done, and I of course don't want to. I'm not a psychopath, but I'll do it, and not meaning to, not wanting to. And she'll say, and she's got this new trick. 20 years like 22. I mean 23 in August. 23 years later, this new trick she does where she goes, "But I'm gonna keep showing up, even though I'm hurt, and I love you. Do you want to get tea?"
Oh, that's cool.
What else can you ask for, dudes?
Tea, testosterone,
No,
or tea?
tea.
leaves.
Yeah, tea leaves.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, let's go get some tea.
Do you like having tea together? Is that something you guys do?
No, I don't like doing anything. I show up. I act out the good husband in the Hallmark movie
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I'm naturally low empathy and I'm naturally disagreeable.
That's so funny.
He's being.
I'm being
But
truthful.
But guess
Are you
what?
being
But
truthful?
look, Lisa could look at that and say, okay, flaws, yeah, maybe. But she could also say, and this is what I would say about you, Danny, that you are more than honest, that you are humble, that you want to change, that your care factor for being a husband and father is beyond probably any man
Yeah.
walking on the street.
Yeah.
So yes, she could focus on that, and I don't think she does focus on the fact that you're low empathy or whatever, or those other qualities about you which more than make up for it.
Yeah.
I hope so.
They do.
It's so true.
Or she
Well,
wouldn't be
that was
23
good.
years in.
That was good putting marriage in the contending toaster. Love that. I want to go back to fantastic aging for a second. I think fantastic aging in 2025, I want to challenge what that looks like. And now I want to say, caveat to this, is that each to their own. Okay? If you want to contend in 2025 with really the cleanest sources of food you can, daily walking and pure water and de-stressing your life, then you're going to do great. And that's a lovely way of contending. Hey, good on you, mate. But contending in 2025 has different options. And I want to say, just like that phone sitting there, Danny, gives you some really lovely options today compared to the dial-up thing where you have to stay by the wall. You can't even sit in a comfortable chair in a conversation, and you've got to go you know.
You wrap your body in the cords.
Yes. You know, I love that scripture, how it says it is the glory of God to conceal a matter and the glory of kings. It's the glory of us, his creation, to find it out. And I think it said kings too, because it's a responsibility of people who want to take responsibility. Like kings have responsibility, they have leadership to find out truth, to find out a matter. And I feel like he wants us to find out stuff. Now, technology has advanced. There's a lot of finding out. Science has helped us find out stuff. And there are, I believe, God-honoring, body-honoring technologies that are from the creative, beyond intelligent heart of God that are for our contending for health in 2025 and beyond. I'm thinking bioidentical hormones. I'm thinking peptides. I'm thinking of technologies that we don't even know yet. Just people can have knee replacements. You know, before they just sit at home and that's it. I can't even walk to the mailbox to get my mail. But now
My grandmother, we call her Robo Nana.
Yeah, I mean, there are some amazing technologies that are only just going to get better. Now, granted, there are synthetic drugs that are getting worse, but there's always the nasty, like to music, there's the nasty, to love, there's the nasty, to marriage, there's the nasty, but there are incredible. So I'd say, let's be open to the things that are going to really allow our health to shine And to see some of these advancements as maybe this is a good way of being stewards of our body in this era. Because Moses said, and when he was over 100, my bones are still filled with sap. Now, it's hard for a man over 100 now in this generation for their bones to be full of sap. But God never leaves us without a way to, prosper and be in good health, even as our soul prospers. So I feel like he's given us tools in each season, in each generation. And I feel like we need to be open to the tools. You know how there's the people on the rooftop, they're like, oh, I'm just waiting to be saved. And the helicopter comes along. So sorry. Nope. I asked God. He's going to save me. And then, the boat comes along. Here, lower yourself down. I'm going to take you to rescue. Nope. Sorry. Let's be open to what God may be sending our way.
Yeah, well, I think a good analogy is something that we spoke of, Serene, the other day. We were talking about this subject, and I said, yeah, you know what? I mean, there's just walking, and that's a fundamental existence. I mean, I go on my walks as much as I can. I just call them mental health walks, and they're just so beautiful. Do I think that they're doing anything for my muscles? No. But then you've got people, and these have been around a long time, made dumbbells, made kettlebells. What the heck? I can actually build my muscle with them.
Yeah, because we can't build. Paul and I were talking. We can't pick up that coffee table there because it's not the right shape. We'll actually hurt our back.
Yeah,
because it's too far away from the body center and all of that stuff. So there's
so
tools.
Then we've got these tools and apparatus, and then you can take it a step further. And most people won't want to, but we do follow Brett Contreras, and he came out with that. What's it called?
The glute hip thruster.
Yeah,
something good.
Anyway, now it's expensive, but I got it for my birthday from my husband. But it so powerfully targets.
You got it for your husband?
No, my husband gave it to me for my birthday because I asked for it. Okay. I asked him, like, please.
No,
can
I thought you were
this?
saying you bought it for him.
No,
it's like,
he wouldn't do a hip thrust.
It's like a reverse bowling ball.
He wouldn't do that. But anyway, it targets the glute muscles
in
so
such
well
a precise way
that it's amazing. I'm using technology for my health goals.
Right. It's a tool. You're using modern tools.
Yes.
So I'm just saying a lot of people poo-hoo. If I cannot pick the little leaf from my garden, then I'm not going to be open to that kind of contending. Now, like I said, I want to respect everybody. Yeah. I love the green leaves. I love the green leaves. But I really want to be open that I don't miss the helicopter that's coming along that really wants to give me a better future.